Vinay sir, are you there? హలో ఆయన జాయిన్ అయ్యారండి ప్రదీప్ అలా కనిపించట్లేదు ఏ పేరు మీద వస్తుందండి ఆయన రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వమనండి ప్రదీప్ యా 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 వస్తుంది ఒక్క నిమిషం నేను అనౌన్స్ చేస్తాను వినిపించట్లేదు వినయ్ది వస్తుంది అవునా ఓకే 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 సెషన్ కంటిన్యూ చేయమన్నా అయితే ఓకే ఓకే Yeah, welcome back after the break. We'll continue with the session. Over to you, Vinay. I think now Pradeep Sarkar is speaking. Please respond, Pradeep sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Pradeep sir, are you there? Pradeep sir? Your voice is not audible, Pradeep sir. Your screen is visible, but voice is not audible.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Pradeep sir, let's start the session now. Please, over to you.
Yeah. Okay. So you all are using Unity version number 2020. Hello?
Yeah, you are audible. Continue. Please continue.
Okay.
Please introduce yourself and continue.
Yeah. So myself Pradeep from Infinito. I'm the head of the department. Okay. So ये 3D model कहाँ है? Okay, now I will be saying about the importing the 3D models and the material aspect of the Unity 3D. So I think Vinay has said you about the interface and all the panels. So now I will create a 3D object. Let's say I will create a sphere. Can you guys see my mouse?
Yeah.
The mouse cursor?
Yeah, mouse is visible.
Okay.
And
Okay.
participants are asking for cursor highlighter.
Cursor highlighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, model. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Okay. 3D models. Unity supports some of the vast measure of the file formats. फाइल फॉर्मेट का बताएं. So FBX is one of the mostly used file formats in Unity. Next is Colab, and then 3ds, DFX. 3ds is something for that you have to need a software called as 3ds Max. If you have 3ds Max installed in your system, then 3ds can be imported without any software, without the need of any other software. FBX and OBJ, these two are the format that can be used directly inside Unity. Okay. Now coming around to the 3D modeling softwares. There are many 3D modeling softwares such as Autodesk Maya, Autodesk 3ds Max, ZBrush, and Mudbox. Okay. So when coming to the 3D, when if you choose any kind of 3D model, let's say it is a character or a human model or any objects. So the pipeline of 3D model is something like, first the model has to be created inside any of the software such as the Maya, 3ds Max, ZBrush, or any other 3D modeling softwares. Once all those modelings, once the model is done, the next phase is UV, creating the UVs of the model. And those UVs are responsible for the textures and all those things. So let me, first the model is prepared in, I will say you about Maya. In Maya, first the model is been prepared. So each and every model, I will open the Maya. Okay. let's say for an example, this is my model. This model has to be first, we have to make a model of this the entire car. Each and every part has to be modeled separately as per the need of the client and or whatever it is. Once the model is done, next we have to make the UVs. UVs are nothing but the flat representation of a 3D. We are converting this 3D object into a 2D plane. Upon this 2D plane, in this 2D plane, we will use our textures. This is what is needed to make anything good look good inside Unity, Unreal, whatever other software we need. Okay. So coming back to Unity. So let's say if you think of this sphere, the sphere's UVs are nothing but flat. But that flat UV is wrapped around this 3D this sphere. Let me get a small textures from the net. So let me get this inside my sponsors. Yeah. काम करता है इंपोर्टिंग ऑप्शन बताया now for now can you see for a sphere the UVs are nothing but flat images. So that flat image now is been wrapped around this sphere. So now let me tell you about how to import some models inside Unity. Okay. Now to import a model inside Unity, there are few ways. I can select my project panel. Inside the project panel, I have my assets folder. Assets folder is the root directory of any Unity projects. So in my assets, I can right click and create. In my assets, I can do a right click and import new asset. So whenever I do import new asset, I have another window. From this window, I can go to whatever directory I want. And from there, let me select this checker box. Now that asset has been imported inside Unity. Now this is for a image. Next, if I want to import any 3D model, let me see, where is my 3D model? Yeah, model. The 3D model is inside. Yeah, so I will go here. Inside assets also I can. So inside Unity, if I go into the asset toolbar here, I will get the same import new assets. So I can select my asset from the location, and either I can select one or else I can select all three of them. So now I have my car, then the back wheel and the front wheel. Okay. So to get my 3D car, let's say for this car, I want to import it inside my scene. I can directly drag it and place it anywhere. Let me place it in the center of the scene. Now, I can tell by seeing this car that the scale of this car is not accurate, because if I create a cube, inside Unity, the scale of the cube is 1, 1, and 1. That is scale x it is 1, y it is 1, and z 1. Now, to compare this scale with a real world object, now the distance that one suggests is that this cube is 1 meter in length in real world. So if I place the cube beside the car, then the car is almost 3 meters of length. Now, okay, let me delete that. Okay. Let me bring my wheels. This is the back wheel. And this is the front wheel. Let me create a empty game object. I have my car. So to import any 3D objects, either I can go inside projects, create, go inside projects in the assets folder. I can do a right click and import a new assets, or else if I go into the toolbars, assets, and import new assets. From these two ways, I can import any 3D model inside Unity. So now let's start making some materials. Okay. To create a material, hello. To create a material, I have to go inside. I have to select my assets folder. Inside that, I'll create a new material. Now I have created a material. So now, if I select the material, I can see there are few properties in it. The first property is the albedo, which means color. It is the Greek translation of color is albedo. So the first is color. Beside that, we have a color picker and a color selection box. If I select this color selection box, I will get a color palette. In here, I can select whatever color I want to give it to my any of the materials. So let me get some color. Okay. Now, in this color picker, in this color palette, there is something called as presets. If I click the bottom, it is saying click to add a new preset. If I click it, I will have a preset. Next time when I change my color and create a preset, if I want my previous color, I can just select the presets and it will select me the color that I have already selected and saved it as presets. Okay. The next is option is the metallic. Metallic is for making the object look a metalness, to give a object some metalness. If I'm creating a material for any plastic object, then the metalness will be 0. If I'm making a material for any of the metallic object, let's say any 3D means rods or the car, generally the car paint will have little bit of metalness to it. So I will give some metalness to it. The next option is the smoothness. Smoothness determines how smooth the object is. I want the object to be rough, then the smoothness is 0. If I want smoothness to be high, then I can change it to a higher value. So for generally the car, the smoothness are the higher values. And this metalness and smoothness, the values will go from 0 to 1. It will never exceed 1 or it will never go below 0. It will range from 0 to 1. The next is normal map. normal map is something is normal map. Generally we use normal map for giving extra details. Already this car is having a lot of details, so we will not use normal map for this. Let's say if I make any 3D model with a low poly. Low poly means if I come into shader, if I see the wireframe, this wireframe is too much, just so many vertex and so many edges. So for this we don't need a normal map, but if it contains less of the vertex and less of the polygons, then we will need normal map to fake the details in it. So normal map is used for that, and height map is used for any of the extra. If I cannot get some details in normal map, those details can be added, some extra can be done through height map. Next is the occlusion. Occlusion is for contact shadow. Contact shadow in the sense, let's say this is my car's window. Let's say, let me take this car mirror. So if I say contact shadow means this is the mirror and this is the car's body where two surfaces are meeting. At this border, we'll get some shadows. Those shadows can be faked through occlusion maps. And last is the detail mask. Detail mask is used for giving some extra details, which will go later on in the path. Next is for emission. To enable an emission, we have to turn on the checker box. Next, we have to give some of the color for the emission, whatever color I want. So now to apply this material to this car. So first I have to select the body of the car and then I can apply the material. Now as the emission is turned on, we are getting that glow. Now you can see all those options in here. Let me explain you again. The albedo. Albedo is for the color of the car. Next, metallic is for metalness of the car. Next, smoothness, how smooth the surface is. Okay. Now let me change some of the material properties. Okay. Now for this car, we have a number plate and few of the tail lights. So for the tail lights, I'll create another material. I'll name it car lights. For this, we'll get some of the textures for the car. So if I go inside the car folder, in here I have all the textures. Okay. Okay. I will use this as my tail light textures. So I'll select my car tail light material. In here, I have to assign the material of the tail lights. So select the tail light, then select the texture and assign it. I can directly drag the texture inside the material property, or else beside albedo there is a small circle with a dot. If I select that, I get a selection panel. From here I can select whatever textures I want for the tail light. Now I'll select the material and assign it to the tail lights in the back, and okay. So with that, now I select my tail light textures. I can increase the metalness and the smoothness as per the requirement. Okay. Next, what textures do I have? Now I have a number plate texture. So for that, I'll create another material. I'll give it a name. And then if I go inside the albedo, I can select the plate. Next, I will drag this number plate to the number plate. So now, if I select this number plate material, I will adjust some of the material properties. Till now, we have created only the opaque kind of materials. Opaque in the sense it is not transparent. So to make transparent materials, first I will create a new material. I'll give it a name such as glass. Now, on the top section of the inspector, we have the glass shader. Beside that, we have the standard shader. This is the shader language. That's the back end of this shader. Now we have the rendering mode. One is opaque, cutout, fade, and transparent. These four properties are present inside the standard shader. So I will go and select the transparent shader. Now it is just like the normal shader. We have our smoothness, we have our metallic, but I cannot see the transparency option. Where can I give the transparency? The transparency option is inside the color. If I select the color box, in here I have red, green and blue channels. Along with there's a fourth channel called as alpha. Here, if I change the alpha, you can see. So let me apply this glass shader to a glass. So now, if I change the alpha, you can observe what is happening. So the transparency is inside the colors alpha channel. Unity takes the albedo or the color maps transparency as alpha. Okay, RGBA, A is for alpha or transparency. Okay, now let me give some properties to the glass. Now let me make a material for the wheels. To create a material, again I have to go inside, create material. This one is for wheels. So for wheel, what textures do I have? There is something called as border. Let's select the border and apply the wheel. So now I have this border of the wheel. Next, let me create another material for wheels, tires. Okay. Now I'll assign it to the wheel tire. Again, I will go inside the albedo and I'll select the circle and a dot to get my selection X, and I'll select the thread. If I get my wheel out, so now you can see this is my threads for the wheel tire. I can change some of the options. Now, previously I said you that the normal map is used for giving some extra details. If I see this wheel tire, I can tell that this is a smooth surface without any kind of extra detail. There's only color to it. The threading colors are there, but I cannot see the depth in it. So now I will use my normal map. The moment I applied a normal map, I get some of the normal details. So this is how we get the details and we fake some of the things. Same thing I will do for the next wheel. Already we have the textures for the border and the wheel. Same here for the border and the wheel. Next, the border and the tire. Now let us create a material for the rims. So I will go and create a material that is rim. Now, to create a rim, we will have some of the chrome kind of rims. We'll create some chrome kind of rims. For chrome, we'll get the metallic to 1 and smoothness to around 0.8. Color will give a slight grayish color. That will give us some of the shiny chrome material. That can be adjusted according to the now let me apply the same to the other wheels. Okay, and what is this? Looks like the bottom of the car and the rear back. Okay, so now we'll create another material for the car. Let's go. We'll apply this. That. Next. Next, I will select the dashboard. Okay. To this, we will apply the car bottom. Okay. Now for the all the rubbers in the car, we'll use another material. For this, I will give a color. Rubbers don't have any kind of smoothness, so I'll remove the smoothness. The last thing that is left is the deck. For the car deck, I will create another material, car deck. And then I will assign the car deck to the object. Then I will assign the material to the then I will assign the texture to the material. Here I will change some of the properties. Okay, Now all of this material has been assigned to the car. So this was just the inbuilt material of the Unity. This is the standard material of Unity. So if I select any one of the material, now this is just the standard material. In Unity, we have AR related materials, FX related materials, UI related materials, UA, and materials specific to mobile applications. Then the materials for the natural objects such as grass, trees, and all those things. We have separate materials for those. And then we have the materials for particles. Particles in the sense, let's say there's a fireplace. Then we need some of the fire particles. So for those, we'll create materials using this particle shaders. Then we have skybox. Skybox is for the sky that you are seeing around. The sky that we are seeing here is nothing but a material. Then for sprites, sprites is for 2D objects. So this GUI is for text and this UI is for the UI options. So we look all these things in the later part of this session. So instead of using all these materials, there are few more things that we can do with Unity. There is there is something called as shader language. So if I go inside any of the object, so now if I go inside the assets, if I select any of the folder, now if I go inside any of the folder and do a right click, inside create, first we'll have some script related options. Then we have this shader related options. Inside this shader, we have standard surface shader, unlit shader, image effect shader, and compute shaders. So if I open just the standard surface shader, if I create, it will create a shader. Let me give it some name. If I open it, it will give me this is the shader language. This is a different kind of scripting. This shader defines how all these things works. So if I select any of the car materials, what this albedo is doing, what is this metallic doing, what is this smoothness is doing, what this normal is doing, all these options are nothing but piece of codes that defines the shader. It is defined inside the shader. Okay, so those are a little bit high level stuff. So we will look into it. Means once the AR session is done, we'll go through this shader options once the AR is done. So this is the old way of doing, means this surface shader that I have created. This is the old way of doing the things. If you're using Unity 2000 version 20 or 19, there is something called as shader graph. To get the shader graph, we'll go inside Windows. There is something called as Package Manager. inside this package manager, it will show me all the packages that Unity supports. Now it took some time to get all those packages. So inside here, there is something called as shader graph. This is the newest version of creating shaders inside Unity. Let me install it. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to install all the things, depending on the speed of the net. Done. Now inside the package, I have another new package, that is shader graph package. If I select the assets in the bottom. Now, previously we had only standard surface shader, unlit shader, image effect, compute shader. Now we have PBR shader graph, subgraph, and unlit graph. These three are the new ways of doing the shaders inside Unity. Let me create a PBR graph. Let me name it my shader. And now it has opened a shader graph window. So this is a node-based graph editing software, or this package contains only node-based editing. So if I zoom in, this PBR master, this is the output of the shader. Currently we have position, albedo, normal, emission, metallic, smoothness, occlusion, alpha, and alpha clip threshold. These are the outputs that currently we have. So in here, there's a small arrow to duck all those things back. If I unduck it, it will show me all those options. To the left hand side, we have the shader name that I have, and there's a plus icon. This plus button will give me some of the options that I can add. For an example, if I want to add some images, so I can select either 2D texture, or if I want some of the arrays, 2D textures array. If I want any 3D textures, I can input 3D textures. If I want cube maps, I can do cube maps also. So let me add some color. I'll rename it as main color. I'll select the default color of this object. Now to get this thing, I'll simply drag and drop. Now I have a property with the same name, main color. If I select this, it will select in my shader. So through that I can know that this thing is a property. So select this main color, I can attach it to the albedo. Next, let me create a texture. I'll give a name. Main texture, and drag and drop. Now I have my two properties. If I want to mix these two properties, then if I bring my mouse to the work area, and hit the space bar, and it will give me the creation node panel. In here, I can do some mathematics based on this properties that I have. Let's say I want to multiply these two options. Either I can type multiply, or else I have to go inside maths and I have to search for the multiplication. The moment I bring multiply, it is asking for two nodes, A and B. I can drag A here. I can drag from that to first. I have to make a sampler texture 2D. From here, I can give it to now. For this, let me select a texture. So now you can see that it is already multiplying these two properties. The first property is the texture, that is a car texture. The second property is the color. If I change the color, you can see it is multiplying those two textures. So this is one way of creating the shaders. To shade this shader, there is a save asset. In the left hand side top corner, there is something called a save asset. The moment I save it, now I can close it. Now my shader has all those things that I have done inside my shader. So this option is only present in 2019, in Unity version 2019 or higher. If I make a shader in 2019, if I try to bring that in 2017 or any lower version, I cannot do it because these things doesn't support those shader languages. So in Unity, either we can use the inbuilt shaders. These are the all inbuilt shaders. Or next, I can create my own shader by creating a new shader script, or I can get a shader graph. These are the three types of methods that we can use inside Unity to create shaders and materials. So anyone has any kind of doubt inside the materials?
Hello, sir. Can you insert
Hello, your voice has been interrupted. Hello, your voice is not audible. Hello.
Hello. Am I audible now,
Yeah.
sir?
Now it is audible.
Okay, sir. Can we add material inside the car, like in steering and all? How can we add inside this?
Already I have added inside the For the steering, again, the same thing. I have to create a material.
Okay.
Then I have to add my steering. Give some colors.
Okay, sir. So inside that, if we need some extra components or extra like music players or like that, we can also include in it.
Yeah. You can include.
Uh,
All those things has
okay,
to
sir.
be. First, you have to model all those things. Once the model is done, then we can do anything with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any other doubts?
Hello, sir. This is Rohit.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Sir, can we make a car move?
Yeah.
Movement of
That is the next in the next session, I think. In the next session, we have some scripting and then animations and all those things. We'll do all those things in the next step.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. This session is only for the materials and the importing the 3D models.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other doubts? So, any other doubts do you have? If you don't have any doubts, we can take the break. We can go for the break. Hello.
No, sir. No doubt.
No doubt. Then we can go for a break. Okay. Yeah. We'll meet at 2 o'clock. 2:10.
Thanks for the session. So we'll break for lunch now and we'll rejoin at 1:20 p.m. Thank you.